Greetings, sinners, and welcome back to the 6th episode of the Hellside Motel podcast. I am once again your host, Easter. If you are new to our channel, please consider liking and subscribing so you never miss another episode. We have been talking about the 7 deadly sins. We have discussed pride, we have discussed wrath, we have discussed envy, greed, and now we are going to be discussing an interesting part of the 7 deadly sins. We are going to be discussing the sin of sloth. And basically the sin of sloth is rather simple. It goes more than beyond just being lazy. I mean, if you're slothful, you're basically you're allowing yourself to have no motivation at all to do anything. You're basically somebody doesn't have a lack of motivation to do anything, not allowing themselves to grow, not giving them a chance to learn anything. And when you have a lack of motivation, you're not going to know what to do. You can't do anything, you can't hold a job, a lack of motivation, like your friends aren't going to want to hang out with you. It's really sad if someone, allows themselves to become slothful. And a lazy person does get sent to hell. Someone who's overly lazy, like I said before, they have no motivation to do anything. Okay, and another point is also being slothful, having that mentality that, you don't really have any motivation to do anything with your life. It can also lead to some serious health issues. It could lead to, depression and who knows what else. And it's very sad to be like that. And, and it's not just a mental well-being, but also it can impact your spiritual growth too. If you're not living up to your spiritual duties, like if you're the head of a household, you're supposed to be taking care of your family. Making sure the bills are paid, making sure everybody has food and everything, like that. And it also will inhibit your spiritual growth to be closer to God. Stuff like that. That's why it's very bad to be slothful. Let's see, what else? Yeah, mental issues and other things. And also being like that, your friendships will suffer. Because, if you're being too lazy or no motivation to do anything, your friends aren't going to want to be around you. They're going to look for someone else because you're going to be a very boring person to be around. And let's face it, do you want a friend who's boring? But remember, sinners, we don't care if you're boring or not. The greedier you are, the slothful you are, how prideful or greedy you are, you're all the same to us, and we would love to have you. So please continue what you're doing, and if you don't shape up, you will be down here with us. And as I said before, we are awfully lonely. We would love to have you here, and there's all kinds of room and stuff that we could do for you. Well, sinners, I really think that is about it for our lovely little podcast. And thank you so much for tuning in and listening. But before we go, on a more serious note, please don't allow yourselves to become slothful. Please don't be a boring person. Because if you have no motivation to do anything, if you're lacking your responsibilities, you will never learn anything. And it's always good to learn something in life. Hey, even if it's something small, even if you learn something new, it doesn't matter what it is. It's always good to learn something. So until next time, sinners, I will see you later.